been really wanting to talk to somebody in and around the subject of cancer as well.
Okay.
And I saw your text, well, the message, you were like, all right, Dan, I won't be long. I'm just having my bloods done. Clearly, you have to do that for a reason.
Yes.
So what's the reason where you're at the minute as well?
At the minute, I'm so grateful that I am cancer-free. I am on preventative medications though, so I've got to be on letrozole. Well, I don't have to be on, but I choose to be on letrozole. And because I'm not at the age where I'm in the menopause yet, I have to have something called Zoladex, and that's an injection in your stomach every 4 weeks, and that just puts your ovaries to sleep. So my cancer was estrogen-led. It meant there's about 7 different types of breast cancer, which I didn't realise. And the estrogen within my body, coming from my ovaries, feeds the cancer, makes it grow. So they have to put my ovaries to sleep to stop us producing estrogen.
Because does it almost feed it in a way, is that right? Are you producing too much or something like that, Kim?
No, it's just obviously when the cancer developed, it's developed from the estrogen, and a lot of women, that's why obviously it's increased risk if you're on the pill or if you're on HRT, because there's a lot of hormones in them medications, and a lot of women kind of tend to blame themselves. They think, oh, well, I was on the pill or I took the HRT. But to be honest, what I was told of my oncologist was I got the cancer for 2 reasons. 1, because I'm a woman, and 2, because I was incredibly unlucky. So the cancer I have is estrogen-led, which is the most common type of breast cancer. So the medical professionals are trying to eradicate my body of hormones. So that comes with a whole new level of side effects.
It's going to change your whole kind of dynamic as a human, isn't it? From how you feel as well. So
it is. It's life-changing. I'm not the same person as I was back then, but I don't necessarily say that as a bad thing. I mean, I've had bloods today because I take hormone suppressants as well as getting the injection in my stomach to put my ovaries to sleep. I take letrozole, and I take that every day, and that suppresses the hormones as well. But that can also damage your bones. So it can make, obviously, the lack of estrogen in your body can give you osteoporosis. So hence why older women, when they've gone through the menopause, they can get brittle bones and things because of the lack of estrogen. But the lack of estrogen is basically medically putting us in the menopause. So at 42, I was put like head first into the menopause. There was no like gradual thing into it. It was just, right, we need to stop your ovaries from producing estrogen. And that's come with a lot of side effects, like I say. But tomorrow I'm having the infusion. I've got to go to the Washington Primary Care Centre. And it only takes about 20 minutes. But it goes through cannula and you just sit in that. But that strengthens your bones. So it's kind of combating a little bit what the medication's doing.
So you've got a lot of management to do, haven't you? What's your day-to-day like? I mean, obviously you've got to take pills, you've got to go to hospital. How often and how frequent is this? And how?
I go to the hospital every month. And that's kind of it, really. But that is one of the things that I found really difficult. Not going to hospital that often, which is quite strange. Because when I was diagnosed, I was at hospital quite a lot, probably every week. I formed like friendships with the nurses and things. And then just to go once a month when your treatment's finished, when your active treatment's finished, that was the bit that I really struggled with.
Why is that?
Because you feel as though, when I was diagnosed, I went through all my treatment. Obviously, I don't know if you want to touch on that later, but I rang the bell and I was elated. I thought, right, that's it, it's finished now. I can just put it to bed, I don't have to worry about it. And I'll just get on with my life, like where I left off. And I realised quite early on that that wasn't going to be the case. For me and a lot of people I've spoke to, just changed my whole life, my perception on everything. And before, my life was all about work and about money and about what nice things I had and all like materialistic things. And I don't want people to think that it's like, oh, because you've had this or you've had like some calling or something that you now changed. But seriously, it really changes your outlook on things. When I was diagnosed and they said, yeah, you've got cancer, and I was only 42, I thought, that's it, game over. I'm going to have to say goodbye to me family, to me kids, and to me dad. And I wasn't ready to do that. No way.
And I'll go back, but what's that like hearing that news for the first time?
Oh, God. Honestly, trying to put it into words, it's like everything's going on in the room and people are talking to you, but like it's like you're in slow motion. But then at the same time, it's like your life's this glass orb. And the moment they've said that, someone's just smashed it on the floor into a million pieces. That's which we all feel. And a lot of people feel the same way, but I don't think it's ever spoke about. And then you're going through the treatment and you're just on this roller coaster because you just one appointment to the next, going through the motions really. And I kept a lot of how I felt to myself because, for one, I didn't want to worry my family and tell them really I was having a really shitty time. And I didn't particularly, sometimes I wanted to give in. I didn't really want to do the chemo because that was hard. And then you're just on this roller coaster, and then when it's time to get off, when you ring the bell, you've got to go back to this glass orb that's all over the floor and try and look for the pieces to piece back together. And there's some pieces of this glass orb that's now missing and they're never going to be back. But you can replace the missing bits. Doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. You can replace the missing bits with better things than that was there before. I hope that makes sense. That's just the way I see things.
It does, because it's like the old you isn't there anymore. It's changed.
Absolutely not.
So it's not the same thing as it was before, but it's a different thing now. So what has changed within you?
Honestly, just everything. I'm not materialistic anymore. Like, I used to like work a lot. I worked like 70 hours plus a week, and I'd be out with my kids at the pitches and they'd be like ringing us saying, I need you to come in. And I'd drop everything. I'd say, oh, you're going to have to go home. I'm going to go into work. I was so blinded about like the need of us and how much like I meant to them and how the place couldn't probably run without us, which now I just think that was so stupid, because whether I'm here or not, the world's still going to keep on turning.
Was that a fear of losing job, or was that a fear of like you losing a purpose as well as a job, and it was
everything? It wasn't the job. I was getting to the point where I was getting really tired. I was under a lot of stress in that at the time as well, from like higher management. They were putting targets in place which were not achievable and stuff. So that side of it, I was kind of on the radar where I thought, actually, do you know, if this long term, this is for me. Financial wise, huge. One of the biggest worries, definitely, because I've gone from working full time to having this wage that you get used to, getting the kids what they want and going on holidays and doing all that, and to all of a sudden, nothing. I was like, how on earth am I actually going to pay me rent? Like how am I going to put like money on my son's dinner account? Like, he's going to have to go to school and be like, oh, I've got no dinner money, like, and little things like that. And then it was like my partner, and he was working, and I felt really guilty because he was basically supporting us all. So that was a real big challenge. The benefit system as well, when you go through cancer, isn't like a given. There's one particular benefit, like you've got to wait 3 months before like if you get awarded it, that's fine, but you've got to wait 3 months before you get a payment. And I just think, well, why? Low capacity work-related activity, it's part of, it's an element on universal credit. And you've got to wait 3 months to get your first payment. And it was just like, well, I know I've got it, but like, can I have the money now, please? I need it now, not in 3 months. And the money worries on top of like fighting for my life and trying to protect my kids from the physical changes in me as well. That was really tough.
I think number one thing everybody stresses about is money. I mean, I do, Kim. It's number one on my list of things that I just wish I didn't have to think about it. Do you know what I mean? Because it hinders what you can do, and also you've had to make a choice between getting better and money. Mm-hmm. That's a massive shift in someone's life.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I mean, people say like, oh, when you get diagnosed with cancer, like, you're so brave and you did all these things and yeah, I couldn't do it, and you went through chemo and stuff, and but it was so hard, and you're so brave, but I wasn't brave. I just did what I had to do to stay alive. And a lot of people with cancer, that resonates with them, because for all people without cancer, they don't know what to say. So they say, oh, it'll be all right and whatever, but till you've actually been there, you don't get it.
Because there's obviously a doubt as well, is this going to work? Is the treatment going to work?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was quite lucky. Lucky, I should say. I found the lump the day after Boxing Day. And, well, actually, my partner found it, but we weren't doing booties. It was like we were lying in bed and he put his arm, like, round us. And he was like, wow, what's that? And I was like, oh, I was like, God, it was huge.
And you hadn't noticed?
No.
Really?
And I was like, wow. And, like, you move your boob like that and it was sticking out. And I was like, God. I was like, how have I not noticed? Like, when I'm in the shower or... And I was like, it was there 1 minute. It wasn't there, then it was there. And it was so bizarre. And I was like, keep putting it off. I was like, I'll go to the doctors next week. And that was like New Year coming on. So I sent my partner, he was like, go, please go. It'll be out. It'll not be out to worry about. And I was like, no, I will. So I got New Year out of the way and I made an appointment. Went to see my doctor, it was a nurse practitioner. She had like a little feeling that, and she went, oh, well, it's a bit big. She went, but I think it could be an abscess. I was like, right. So she went, I'll give you some antibiotics, go away, come back in a week. Well, I went skipping out of the doctors. I was like, oh, it's an abscess, there's nothing wrong. To be honest, I knew, like, I thought, oh, could be cancer, but like that was way in the distance. I'd never thought really, oh, I've got cancer. When I found this lump, I just thought it'd be a cyst or it'll be like abscess or something. So it didn't go away. I was like taking the tablet every day, an antibiotic, and then failing, measuring it, and then it wasn't going away. So I had to go back. Doctor said it's this time, and he was like, right, we'll have to refer you to the breast clinic. I was like, right, okay. So I went to the breast clinic at Grindon. Again, went with my partner. We're in the car, and we're like, oh, after we've done this, we'll go and book a holiday. Because it was in January, we hadn't booked a summer holiday yet. But yeah, where do you fancy? And we're having a bit light chat. Goes in to the room, fills forms out. Breast surgeon came in, because it's a breast surgeon that diagnoses you. I didn't realise, but it is. He had a bit of feeling that, and he was like, well, it is a bit big to be cancer. He went, because they normally start off small and then get big. He went, but it's not soft like a cyst. He went, so we'll have to do a mammogram. I was like, okay. Went in. Even then, I was like, oh, not be cancer. Went in, done the mammogram. It wasn't pleasant, but they save lives. Came out of there, and he came back in. He said, right, I think we need to do ultrasound, because it look a little bit iffy, like a bit dark. I was like, right, okay. Done the ultrasound. Even then, Like, I was like, oh, I just thought I was in total denial. And then the lady, these words will just ingrained in my mind, and she just went, oh, we'll have to do a biopsy. And I went, why? And I started to cry, and she was like, I was like, what, like, you think it's cancer? And she was like, I'd be very surprised if it isn't. And I was like,
Wow.
what? Meanwhile, my partner's in the waiting room, and I text him saying, oh, I think it's a cyst or whatever, because he couldn't come in with us. And so they did the biopsy, and it's like a punch biopsy, so it's like a needle that goes in, and I think it's like it grabs, like, obviously cells or whatever, skin. And then I got off the bed, and I was like, I was just in a mess, absolute mess. And I was like, what am I going to do? I just instantly thought, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Like, I never thought it would end this way. And so the breast surgeon said, right, calm down, have you got anyone with you? We'll go and get your partner. So I was sitting, the breast surgeon and the breast care nurse, and Lee, my partner, came in, and I just stood up and I was like, I've got cancer. And it was like, it was just, I can't explain what that's like. It's just, like you say, it's just something that just shatters your world. It really is. And then I was like, right, well, I was like, am I going to die? And he was like, no, you're not going to die. So I'd just be honest and tell us, if I'm going to die, I want to know. He's like, no, we can cure it. We can cure it. He says, your lymph nodes, they look a bit iffy as well, look like they've possibly got cancer in them. He went, so we'll obviously biopsy them as well. So then I had to go away for a week. He was like, I've done the biopsy, 99% sure it is cancer we're looking at. He said, but apart from that, I can't tell you anything else. He went, and this is the hard part. He went, because first I need to know what feeds it, what makes it grow. He went, and then I'll be able to know how to kill it.
So was that a week of you not knowing, Kim?
Well, he told us, the
Did he
surgeon.
tell you in the room then, or not?
Sorry?
Did he tell you that it was cancer in the room after that biopsy?
Yeah. Oh, well, not straight after the biopsy. He told us even before we got the results back.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So we went in the room when my partner came in. He was like, oh, we've done the biopsy. I've had a look at it, obviously, in the ultrasound. He says, I'm 99% sure it is.
Because he's seen that before, hasn't he?
When I went away, I was like talking to a few close friends, and they were like, you shouldn't have said that, because like, it might not be. And I was like, but it is though, he knows what he's talking about. I trust him 100%. I've got to. And then when I went back, it was confirmed it was. He said, well, but to be honest, that was nice, because I was like, it wasn't such a big shock, because I already knew. Like, it kind of softened the blow a little bit, which was, it worked for me. And the biopsy come back that the was cancer, but the nodes, thank heavens, were clear. Because your lymph nodes can get inflamed for like all sorts of reasons. So like if you've got cold or anything like that. So I was grateful that it hadn't spread to anywhere else. So I was like, right, what's next step? And he said, right, it's estrogen led. It's the most common. First stage, basically, we'll operate and remove it. I was like, yes, I just wanted it out. Honestly, I would have gladly, I said to him at the time, I wouldn't just take them both off. Like, I'm not bothered. I just want to be alive. I want to live. He was like, no, like the evidence suggests there's not much difference between a mastectomy, which is removing the breast, to a lumpectomy, which is just removing the lump. So I was like, right, okay, so that was booked in, 2nd of March.
So how long from the diagnosis to the operation, Kim?
Diagnosed on the 31st of January, me up on the 2nd of March.
Okay.
I had a fabulous surgeon. So the lump was 3.2 centimetres, so about that, I think. He said if I just like remove the lump and don't like fill it with anything, like, it'll not be the same. It'll be all like dinted and stuff. He's good, but I can take some like fat from here, from your back, and put it in to like fill it out. And to be honest, at the time, I was just like, whatever, just get rid of it, just get it out. And they did warn us at the time that when they take the lump out, they've got to get clear margins all the way around. And the thing is with the NHS, they haven't got the technology at the moment to do that in the operating theatre to see if they've got clear margins. So they took the lump out, sewed us up, and then I had to wait about 3 weeks for the results to see if they're getting it all. If they hadn't, then they would have had to gone back in to shave more skin off. And then if they hadn't again, they would have had my breast off. But luckily, I was so lucky that they managed to get it all in one go. And my surgeon's done a fantastic job. I've got a scar, but not the end of the world. I'm here.
So, yeah, because I can understand you just going, let's just do it in one. Let's get rid of the whole thing altogether. Because going back in, I can't imagine that's any pleasant.
No.
Because because you're going back to something that's already been scarred, you know, and then you're going to go and remove it. And how many times are we going to do this? So I understand how you think, just get rid of it from the go.
Yeah.
But obviously, you've got to take advice from professionals and go, look, all right, I believe you. Yeah. But there's always a doubt in your mind, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I had total trust in me team. To be honest, at that time, I didn't really know much about breast cancer. I Googled loads, which I think is just normal in a way, but it's not really helpful. And I just trusted them. I just thought they want me to survive. I want me to survive. My family do, obviously. Let's just do what we have to do. So
after the surgery, where are you now? What do you think? Oh, great, that's it, done? Or is there? Oh no, I've got to do treatment. What's the protocol?
So after that, I when they done the pathology, they also the fantastic service that they offer. They cut a part of the tumour out. It's called an oncotype test. And there's only one clinic in the world that does it, which is in San Francisco. So the NHS, it varies trust to trust. Some trusts do it because it is quite expensive for them to do it. They take a part of the tumour and send it to San Francisco, and they do a test on it to see how responsive your tumour would be to chemotherapy. So anything under 25, if you've got a score of under 25, it wouldn't really be responsive to chemotherapy, so it will be pointless giving you it. If it's over 25, then it's a good idea because the chemo will mop up any rogue cells or anything. I had to wait a couple of weeks. Obviously, I had to heal in that anyway. And my score came back as 40. So the oncologist, I was like, oh, I've got 40% chance of it coming back. The oncologist was like, no, like it's 40%. Like 40% is that the chemo will respond to the chemotherapy. So it's not like a reoccurrence score. It's basically telling you how responsive it will be to the chemo. And so if you look at it in a positive way, it's good that it will respond to chemo because we can use chemo as a tool now, where if it wouldn't respond, we would have to think of other things. Chemo was never really on the table, to be honest. They just said initially when I got diagnosed, like an operation radiotherapy. And then I went back for my results. And they were like, listen, we really, really think you should have chemo. And I was like, oh no, that was the one thing I really definitely didn't want. It's like I feel a bit shallow saying it, but I really didn't want to lose my hair. And I cried and cried when I knew I was going to have to have it because for one, for my hair, I accepted the fact that I have got cancer or I've had cancer, but I never wanted to look like I had cancer. Aye,
okay, yeah, because the surgery you can kind of put clothes on, you can sort of hide it to some extent, can't you? But this is, There's no getting away from that fact, is there?
No.
And then, is it because of people would ask you about it?
Yeah. So, like, just to backtrack a little bit, the oncologist was like, well, you don't have to have chemo if you don't want to. We've removed all the cancer, but to give you a good chance, long-term survival, we recommend you should have it.
Just flush out the system kind of thing, yeah?
If there's any rogue cells or anything, it'll get that. So each stage of each treatment that they were giving us was giving us an extra percentage of chance of survival. So, like, after my surgery, she said they use a thing called Predict, and they put your age, the type of cancer you had, whether you smoke, are you healthy, and all that into this tool, like on the computer. And it'll give you like a 10-year survival rate. And a 10-year survival rate without any treatment for me was 60%. She said that's still fairly good. She went, but in 10 years' time, you'll only be 53. She went, I would like to nail this once and for all, ideally, and we're never going to see you again. I was like, yeah, that would be great. So she said the chemo will take it up to like 78%. It'll give us like an extra 18%. And then with the radio, that'll give us an extra 6%. And then the hormone therapy, an extra like 7%, I think, something like that. So now my chances of being cancer-free is about 97%, which is the same as a woman my age, because obviously your risk increases with age anyway. But the chemo, God, that was so hard by a mile. God, it was really hard.
So the start of the chemo, how long after the surgery are you starting the chemo? And obviously you've made the decision now. Did you sit down with your family and talk about it? Was that a big thing you were thinking about?
Yeah, well, my family were like, well, it's up to you. I don't think they really wanted to push us into it. And I was like, I need you to see it. I need you to do it. Because I knew in my head I had to do it. Because I think if I didn't do it, then I came back, I'd think, I should have listened. I should have done what they said. I know some people, to be honest, that's turned down chemo and they prefer not to have it. There's all the risks involved and long-term health issues. But for me, this is my ultimate goal, is that I need to stay cancer-free for as long as I can. So, yeah, I made a decision. They know I'm quite headstrong anyway, and that's what I was doing. And they supported us with it, but it was tough.
So what was the first day like? Can you talk us through that?
Honest, it was like, I've got friends now that are going like the starting chemo and the asking us what it's like, and I'm hiding some of it from them because I don't want to, like, obviously give them an idea of what I was like, because everybody is different as well. First day, I went along in the car and I was like, oh, well, you know, I says, well, I've came home, I'll have some for my tea. And I just like a normal day. And I had to have 8 rounds every 2 weeks. It was called dose-dense chemotherapy. It's quite a hard, like, regime to be on. So it was 8 rounds, but it was 4 of one and 4 of another. The first one is called EC. And so I went in, and I never knew, I've never done this before. And obviously I was getting upset. And the nurses are like angels, they're amazing. Talking us through, obviously, what's going to happen. She said, oh, this chemo, we put a cannula in, but we sit and inject it into you. I went, all right, okay, because you obviously on the telly that they've got it in a bag or whatever and they're sitting. She said, oh, no, not this one. I was like, right, okay. So I was so headstrong to keep my hair. Like, my hair was like the beginning and end all, even though, to be honest, before then I used to curse and I'd be like, yeah, it's all frizzy. But like, when it come to losing it, God, I was like, I just wanted to keep that. I thought, God, you can chop my arms and legs off. I just didn't want to lose my hair. And now thinking about it, I think, oh God, that was a bit. But that was my feeling at the time. Yeah. And so I tried the cold cap. So it's a Paxman machine that they use, and it's like an American thing, but it is moving over to the UK. The NHS do use it, and it freezes your scalp. And it's not supposed to like stop your hair falling out, but it can thin it out. So, like, I know women that's used it successfully, and I know women that's used it and it hasn't worked. And I was one of the ones that it didn't really work. So it's like a jelly cap they put on, and it's like a brain. It's got
electrodes and wires or
no,
something.
it's got like veins running through it. That's the word.
Okay.
Veins running through it, sort of thing, and then you have to have another hat over the top and like a big chin strap where they tighten it, so it's literally like stuck to your head. You've got to wet your hair first and everything, and put conditioner on before they put it on, because when they come to take it off, it might stick to your hair. So you've got to have wet hair. Put this jelly thing on, like a thin cap thing. It looked like a brain. That's what it looked like while and then this, like a jockey's hat. So they put that on. And obviously they want it as tight to your head as possible. And then you have to have that on half an hour before they start your treatment. And then while you're having your treatment, you have to leave it on. And then 90 minutes after your treatment's finished. But when they put it on, it was just like, it just went like and sucked my head a little bit, and it just froze my head. And like I got like brain freeze, like if you're eating a corner too fast. It was just like, I was like, God. But after a while, it just went numb, and like I managed to like do it. So this cap on, and like we were there in the hospital longer than what we should have been, but because of the cap, I was like, no, I'm putting it on. And then the second time, they sat and obviously just pushed it in. It takes as long as it takes, really, how like fast it'll go in. And then I went the second time, but my hair, by that point, it started to like come out a little bit with a brush, but nothing like major. But they said obviously it will still come out, but it'll hopefully just thin out. I was like, and I had really thick hair anyway, so I thought, I might like be in here. I might get away with it. And then the third time came, and by that point it thinned quite a lot. And she put it on, wet my head, put it on, and it was just so painful. I was like, you're gonna have to take it off. And she's like, well, you are gonna lose your hair with this treatment. I was like, yeah, I know, just to like take it off. And at that point, I was still in denial. I thought, I'll be the medical marvel that doesn't lose her hair. So I knew women, before they'd even started the chemo, and they just whacked it off with a shaver. And I was like, there's no way I can do that. And so anyway, I just continued on with my chemo without using the cold cap. And I still had hair, but in my head, I still had hair. To everybody else, it was like, I looked like a monk, to be honest, like Friar Tuck. And yeah, around here. And it was just strands here, but I wore a cap. And I thought, God, still, you can't tell, like, I've got hair still. And then my partner one day was like, Kim, we need to shave that off. I was like, I can't. He's like, no, like, honestly, you look better without it. I was like, so I was like sitting down in the chair, and he was getting the shears. And I was like, no, I'll do it tomorrow. And then this one day, my son was in the final year of primary school. So they were doing the parents' evenings and things, and like recognition days and that, where parents had to go in and like the goodbye assembly and all that. And I thought, God, I didn't want to be sitting there with like a baldy head. Like, and his friends are gonna know, like, and they're gonna laugh at us. And I was like, oh no, I can't. So anyway, in my head, I still had hair, but honestly, I'll send you some photos. I didn't have hair. So this one day, I was like, right, come on, let's just do it. I spoke to my son. I was like, I'm gonna have to shave my head. I went, cause look, it's just all like rat's tails. Oh, Mum, don't shave your head. I thought, I've got to. I says, I've got to, because it looks awful. I says, I'll wear a hat or whatever. And to be honest, I'd never really asked him, they're sitting having this conversation, why he never wanted us to. Just wrapped up in yourself in a way, and that's a little bit selfish, I get. But I was like, no, I'm doing it. So we sat, and I was literally gripping the chair like this, like if I was on like a roller coaster or something, like if he was like going to hurt us, and he just buzzed it off, and it was just the little bit of hair that was round, and even that was just silence. I don't know what to say. I was like, well, there's no you can see it. I was like, I'm going to have to look in the mirror though. So I was like, right, look in the mirror, and I looked in the mirror, it just broke me heart. Broke me heart, seeing yourself like that. Because at that moment, I was a cancer patient. Before, I was still a cancer patient, but nobody knew, I thought. And the only reason I kept it secret is because I didn't want people's pity. That was the only reason. I didn't want to pass anyone on the street and for them to go, oh, you've got cancer. Oh, is there anything we can help you with? This, that, and the other. I thought, no, like, just treat us the same as you always would. I'm still me. I've just got this illness that I can't control. Like, so we did that. We buzzed it off. And my son, he was only like 11. And he is really naive and he's quite immature for his age, but he was like passing us in the hall and that, and he was just laughing. And that's how we deal with stuff in our house, through humour. And I was like, yeah, laughing at my party head. And he was like, hey, Mum, you just look so funny. I was like, yeah, I know I do. But inside, I was like falling apart. But I never spoke about that because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. Do you know what I mean? It's funny.
It's tough. We all have to put a brave face on for the kids because you don't want to put it upon them.
Oh, absolutely not.
But you have to talk about it and you have to be honest about it. But I think kids have a way of you just realising, because they'll just call it out, won't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you're trying to kind of make the excuses up and you're holding on because you don't want people pointing the finger at you. Mm-hmm. You don't want to become, this is your new identity as Kim cancer patient. Mm-hmm. And that's a real tough thing to kind of to deal with, isn't it? To lose who you are. This is who I am now. And you don't know. Like, you just want, well, no one's going to give you a date of when it's going to come back, do they? And I think that's the fear as well. Yeah. The unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. But I still went to the parents' evenings and stuff. I just wore a cap. I never got a wig. I thought about it and I thought, oh, do I not? And I just thought, well, people know now. I've got my cap on, but they can see I've got no hair. And I just thought people know if I've got a shop with like a hair down to my back, like they'll know it's a wig. So I just thought, oh, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. And I always wore my cap, even in the house when I was at the window and that, I always had my cap on. And it was so hot, it was like this in the summer. And I was just like, one day, shite, just took it off. I mean, it was hard. And then I spoke to my other friend, actually, and she had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I used to speak with her about, like, how I felt, because she got it. She just got it. And she was like, are you ashamed? Like, that you've had cancer? Or you've got cancer? I was like, no. I was good, but it's not something I can control. I haven't brought this upon myself. And anybody can get it. She was like, well, why haven't you told anybody? Because apart from, like, my family, my close friends, I'd not, like, tell Brenda down the shop, like, yeah, I've got cancer. I'd just not told anybody else. And I thought, you're right. I thought, like, I'm not ashamed, and why should I be? And if there's me struggling that I feel like I haven't got anybody to talk to, I bet there's loads of other people out there feeling the same way. So I was like, right, yeah. So I literally put a thing on Facebook saying, this is me. I got diagnosed with cancer in January. Obviously I had to have chemo, I've lost my hair. It's been a really hard time for me and my family. But I want it to be a positive message, really, that you do come out the other side, and there is light at the end of the tunnel for anybody who's suffering with cancer or family and friends and things. And I had a real positive feedback from that. I didn't get pity, really, from anybody, which that's not what I wanted. I really didn't want people to see us as some, like, I didn't want people to see the cancer. I wanted them to see me still.
I think it's because you've kind of you've taken ownership before somebody else has, and you're stepping into the room on your terms,
Yeah,
not somebody
absolutely.
else's terms coming to you.
Yeah.
Like filling in the narrative for you.
Yes.
You're going in, going, this is what I've got, this is who I am, and I'm here to talk to anybody about it. And I do think you're 100% right, as in everybody should talk about it, and you should. There's a freedom to letting go, and there's a freedom to admitting, yeah, I've got this.
Well, I think even to this day, I mean, years ago, like in the 70s, and my granddad had cancer. And I think when my mum told us, it was just like, your granddad's like got the big C. He's got the big C. I'm like, right. But now even still to this day, people are like, oh, he's got the big C. I'm like, well, it's cancer. Like, I think people are frightened to even say the word. And I think hair loss as well is a big thing that for a woman to have no hair, I think even now in like 2025, I don't think it's widely accepted. If I'm being honest, like if someone sees a bald man in the street, they just walk past, you see a bald woman, they're like, yeah, a woman, she's got hair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You do. I mean, you know, it's really tough because you walk past in the street and, you know, it's usually maybe it's a headscarf or a cap, but you can see it in themselves. There's something different because obviously sometimes you get replaced with some like steroids to kind of, and then there's a bloatedness to it, and there's do you know what I mean? There's always something you can see with somebody that they just don't look well. There's something not right there.
But when I don't think people realise, but when you go through chemo, you lose all hair. So it's not just
eyebrows and everything.
Eyebrows, eyelashes, even the hair in your nose. You've got hair in your nose that stops your nose from constantly running.
Right.
So you lose them as well. So
I never thought about that,
yeah.
you know, Kim. I just thought eyebrows in your head, but not the
eyelashes.
nose.
So your eyes are like really streaming with water quite a lot. Your nose runs quite a lot.
Yeah, because it's just up dust, isn't it?
Yeah. So like,
what's that like then? What was?
To be honest, the hair, it was just my hair. Like, I thought, well, I got my eyebrows done before I started chemo. I got them microbladed, and I'm not great when it comes to like applying makeup and that. I just, like in the 90s, I used to just shove it on before I went out sort of thing. And I thought, God, I'm going to have to draw my eyebrows on. And I thought, well, if I've got no hair, how do I know where my eyebrows are supposed to be? Do you know what I mean? Stupid things like that. Yeah. And I thought, well, if I've got no hair, and then if I've got eyebrows, at least that's going to like feature my face for my features. I thought, right, I'll do that. So I got that, and that's quite popular, to be honest. So a lot of women that knows that they're going to have chemo, try and get their eyebrows done beforehand, because I couldn't have drew them on. I would have just been like, one would have been up here and one down here.
But at least it's something, you're trying to hold on to something, aren't you? Yeah. And that must be strange because it kind of defines the face. It keeps the shape of the face in some way, doesn't it? So.
But it's like a fight, like to look normal. It's like, I know women that have like, I haven't had the eyebrows done, and they're drawing them on themselves, or they're finding out which eyelashes like will work, because you can get like magnetic ones and stuff. I never done any of that. I just thought, I am who I am. It is what it is. They'll come back. But my eyebrows, I just thought that's like, it's just going to frame my face. But yeah, and so back to your first question about like not going to hospital that often. I was used to going like in and out of hospital all the time, seeing the nurses, how are you? And my family were in the waiting room. So I could be like, oh, I'm feeling a bit shit here. Like, I don't know if I can do this for much longer. And I just have a big cry and that and whatever. Where when I left, when my treatment finished and I rang the bell, I was elated. But I didn't realise at the time that obviously that part of that connection that I've had with the staff for 4 months is gone. It's still going to be there when I go back once a month, but it wasn't the same. And then the total thing that you get when you're going through it is like people ghost you. They'll ghost you because it makes them feel uncomfortable and they don't know what to say. And I seen that firsthand, like speaking to my friends. You could just tell it was making them feel uncomfortable by the fear. Like they didn't know what to say. And to be honest, I wasn't looking for them to say anything. I just wanted to rant to them. And like my family, like I say, I kept a lot from them because I thought, I don't want you, like my hair, when my hair was falling out, like my other half was like, I don't know what to say, and like, yeah, I feel so sorry for you, like your hair's coming out. I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's just hair. But like really, I was like, oh God, what's going on here? It was like, you put your hand like that, and it was just coming out in your hand. I was like, what on earth is this? So like I hid a lot from them. So when I finished treatment, rang the bell, thought, right, get back to normal. But looking in the mirror, person looking back, I was like, don't know who that is. That I just felt really, really depressed. I suffer from depression anyway, and I did long before I got the diagnosis. But I was like, might as well not bothered during the cancer treatment. There's no point. Like I haven't got a purpose, sort of thing. Like I'm just here, and like my confidence was just rock bottom. I put on a lot of weight off the steroids. I had nowhere. I had friends and that I couldn't really speak to. I just felt like they just didn't get us anymore. Like I am still friends with some of them, but like not, to be honest, probably not as much as, I don't really open up to them as much as I used to. I thought I need to speak to other people that's going through similar to me. And I wish I'd been that, I wish like when I'd said on Facebook, oh, this is me and I've got cancer, because I would have reached straight out to that person and said, oh, I have as well. And it's just little things like, oh, what did you use for your hair to grow back? Like, oh, my skin's really dry, like, what moisturiser do you use? Because a lot of people, well, women that have breast cancer like to use things that's all natural. So I thought, right. So I went to Macmillan. I don't know if I'm going too fast here.
No.
I went to Macmillan. I says, right, I've been with them before because they helped us get a benefits advisor to fill forms out for benefits, because I've never claimed a benefit in my life. Didn't know how to fill these forms in. So I went back. I says, oh, is there any cancer support groups around Sunderland? Anywhere I can go, speak to other people that's going through similar? No, there isn't. There's none within Sunderland.
There wasn't any?
No, nothing. So the nearest place is Maggie's at the Freeman. And Freeman is a fantastic place as well, and Maggie's is a fantastic organisation. They're in the grounds of Freeman. I went to Freeman to get me radiotherapy. I'd have 20 rounds of radio. So I had to go there and back every day for 20 days. But I used that time to pop into Maggie's and speak to people there, and I really enjoyed being in the company of people like me.
Yeah, you can talk to, you can...
Yeah. Well, I'm not having to explain, like, I'm trying to put it into words. It's just, they just get it. They just know. So I thought, well, for us to go to Maggie's every day, that's going to be really like, for to go to Maggie's like once a week or whatever, it's going to be quite challenging because I drive, but then I thought, well, if I make friends, they're going to be quite difficult to maintain. So I thought, well, there's nothing in Sunderland, there's no cancer support groups. Why? And they were like, oh, I don't know, they just all folded in COVID and we haven't got one. I thought, well, I'm going to have a go at seeing if I can change it. So that's what I did.
So what's it called?
It's called Together We Can. And I chose that because I think it symbolises support and friendship and hardship when you are going through a diagnosis or treatment or even living with cancer. I think together we are stronger. We have a great group of people. In that sense, I wouldn't say I'm pleased that I got cancer, but some people do look at it as like a gift because it's changed my outlook on things. Like, I'm not particularly bothered about money and that anymore. I'm all about time. Like, you can earn money, that'll come back. The time won't. And I know it's easy said than done when you've got bills to pay and stuff. Obviously, you have to work, but get the balance right. It's important that you give time to your loved ones, because they're your legacy when you're not here. Not like you worked here and you did so much for the shop or you did all them extra hours. Nobody will remember that.
Yeah, nobody remembers something that you've done for them.
No.
What have you done for you?
Yeah.
And people around you. It's the support and the
Yeah.
help. And also, it sounds like you've created a community as well. And it sounds like you found one when you were in hospital, but one
Yes.
that kind of give you meaning because of something that you were going through. So it's like-minded individuals. And that's all you need. You need to find just people who you can actually talk to one-to-one. And it's so valuable as well. Just
Absolutely.
understanding somebody else sitting opposite you to get it and go, I don't have to go around the houses again. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. It's just, honestly, I mean, people, if anyone watches this and they've got anybody that's got cancer in the family or they have had a diagnosis, all people want is just to be listened to. You don't have to say anything. You literally just have to sit next to them and hold the hand if you want, and just listen. That's it. There doesn't have to be like these grand words and big, huge gestures. It's just about giving the person time. Because sometimes just to talk, that's all I want.
And have you obviously lifelong friends in the ward? Are you still kept in touch with people in the ward?
Honestly,
Yeah.
So I went to like loads of different places to set this group up. I thought, right, I'll try renting a room, I'll advertise it out, just see what happens. I thought, well, I want to try and use my experiences to help others. I don't particularly want to go back to like working in Tesco's, scanning like fruit and veg, and that's £10.20. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I want to use like my experiences to help other people.
Yeah, you've had a unique experience and you've got knowledge which you can pass on to somebody else.
Yeah, so I went other places anyway. We ended up at Pallion Action Group. And the manager there, well, the CEO, Karen, she said, yeah, totally on board, I'll help you. I'll give you the room at the library, at Keel Road Library. Bear in mind, I was going to other places, community centres. I was like, oh, can I have a room? This is my ideas. Well, it'd be like 30 quid an hour. I was like, well, I haven't got any money because like I'm not working and I don't know whether this is going to work. But I thought it would, because I thought, well, if it's me, all on me lonesome in Sunderland, there's bound to be other people. So I used Canva to do like me posters and stuff, and I literally displayed them everywhere. Spoke to me oncologists and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm doing this cancer support group. And he's like, yeah, that's great, and I'll tell people. Posters on the Phoenix unit, some at Washington, social media, word of mouth, getting people to talk about it. And that was the first meeting in October, on the 3rd of October, I think it was, on 2023. And I'd just finished treatment in the September. But like even doing that, doing the posters, getting people to, like, telling people about what my idea was, and that, it was like a fire was ignited, because I had a purpose again. For all like my purpose, yes, I've got a family, but I had something for me. And I sat in the room and I was like, oh God, no one's going to turn up. And I thought, oh, if they do, that'd be great. Even if one person turns up. And 24 people came.
Right.
Honestly, the first one, I was like, wow. Like, it's a double-sided sword, really, because it's crap that they've got to be there, because obviously if they're there, then they've got cancer or they're affected by cancer in some way. But also it's really good because, like, obviously what I'd done worked, the advertising I'd done, and people had somewhere to go. So we're sharp, outgrew the room at the library. So we've had to move down to Pallion Action Group because the room's bigger. And now we've got about, I mean, people waive us, so people don't come all the time. Sometimes people might come for a few weeks and then not come for like a couple of months and then come back. It's just, if you need it, you know what I mean? Like a drop in. But now we've got about 23 members. 3 of them are men, which is amazing. But yeah, I'm so proud of what we've managed to achieve, because I have got, like, initially it was just me, and then obviously speaking to members of the group. We had guest speakers come in as well about services that might be relevant, and chatting to different people in different organisations. I've managed to build up a committee. So there's 4 of us on the committee, and we just make decisions about what we're going to do for the future. And we've got some really positive things. So we'll do coffee morning, the second Monday of each month, 11 till 1. And when I tell people about it, they're like, oh, it's just sitting around like, oh, I've got cancer. I was like, it's not. It's not like that. We'll sit round. I mean, we brought baby pictures in of us, and we all have to guess who was who, or we'll play bingo, or we'll have a quiz, and we have a right laugh. Yes, we have tears as well sometimes, but that's just a part of it. But we're all there for each other to help each other through. And honestly, hand on heart, we're so friendly. Like, there's people can come in, any stranger, and would make them feel welcome. There's nobody with ego. And then what I found was, in the coffee mornings, we were trying to do crafts as well, but it didn't. Sometimes we were doing crafts, and then we were doing coffee morning, then it was just all a bit mixed up. So then we started doing crafting for wellbeing on the 4th Monday of each month. So we'll do a craft activity. So we've had someone come in to do, like, teaching crochet. We've had someone coming in to do pottery painting, things like that. And we're just about to start, like, a journal. The journals are going to be, like, for the arts and crafts sessions, but they're going to be like a blank slate, so the person can put things into this book, anything that they like. So, like, a quote that they like, or a place where they're used to, like, visiting, or photos of, like, when they were kids, or what they like to do when they were kids, and all that sort of thing. You can put out your want in this book. And I think they're going to be really good, because they're also, like, a nice thing to keep as a legacy as well. Because unfortunately, like, cancer does kill people as well, and that has happened within our group. We have lost a couple of members, which is sad.
So people have come to the group with cancer, and they know they're not going to be cured as well.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like they can walk in the door and not have to say, I've got cancer.
No.
Because that's what you're there for.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it really helps
100%.
not having to announce it, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And just talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, if a new person comes, what we sometimes do, if they're comfortable doing it, I would ask them, is that we'll do, like, around the table. Like, so we'll say, oh, my name's Kim and I had breast cancer in 2023. But they don't have to if they don't want to. But then we always put an icebreaker in, so it was like, I don't know, dead or alive, who would you bring to the dinner? Who would you take out for dinner? And we have a good laugh in that. But, so yeah, we do the coffee morning, we're doing crafting for wellbeing. We're now looking at getting facilitators in to deliver them sessions, the crafting. Because we can do crafts ourselves, but coming up with ideas about, like, what we can do next week and that the members are like. And we're running out of ideas, so we're now introducing, like, an artist to come in to do some acrylic painting. And we've got someone coming in to do sea glass art, where they make the pictures. Because crafting is so good. It's so good for the mind, I think. It really helps people express themselves in a different way that they necessarily wouldn't verbally. And it's a sense of escape, bit of a, like, sense of relief, like, to release some emotions.
Is that because, do you think about it every day? It doesn't leave you, does it?
No.
And that worry might be there, what happens if?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have people that are, we've got loads of people that are all different. We're a right mixed bag. So we've got people that are curative, so like me, that it's cured, but it could come back. There's people that's having current treatment, and hopefully they will be cured at the end. There's people that's living with cancer, that are stage 4, that are receiving treatment to prolong their lives. But what really drives me, and my absolute passion, is just because someone's stage 4, or just because someone's had cancer, like, don't write them off. Like, so the NHS for me, this is what I'm trying to create. They do like the medical side of it, and I think the emotional side of it should run alongside. So they give you all that medical stuff, you ring the bell and off you go, right? But like me, I was looking in the mirror, I didn't know I was looking back, I was really overweight, I had no confidence, I had nobody to like take us under the wing where it would be now. I just thought, I really need that. And so that's what I'm trying to create. I'm trying to create that aftercare or that prolonged care, because even if someone's stage 4, they'll go in for medication, but that's it. It's just, oh, are we at the day? Right, okay, take your blood, right, away you go. Do you know what I mean? There's no, it's very isolating. So I'm trying to create that aftercare part with, I mean, my absolute dream is one day I want my own premises where there's a cancer wellbeing centre within the city where we can offer peer support, we can do crafting for wellbeing, we can do, we have just started yoga. We'll start yoga on the 24th of June. And it's about creating that inclusive space where it's safe space. Like, they think, oh, well, why can't Joe Bloggs just go to the gym then, if he wants to, like, get fit? Yeah, but, like, he's got no hair, he's got no confidence. It's a big deal to go out in a gym anyway, but when you've been through that life-changing event, I just think an inclusive space where you can look alongside when we're doing yoga and think, like, if I'm like, oh, God, like, I'm not gonna, I just feel like the person next to us will get it. So I'm trying to create this environment, really. And I've got loads of ideas. I just need to keep building and building and building, and eventually I'll get there.
That's great, yeah. Yeah.
We've got people that's obviously stage 4, and I've got to mention names and that, but honestly, they're the most positive people. Even when they're stage 4, they don't just want to take a tablet, sit back in the armchair and think, oh, what for the best. They want to feel empowered. What can they do to help themselves? And I definitely believe things like exercise, nutrition, peer support, channeling your emotions through craft and things like that, it can help. It might help you live longer. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, oh, it's definitely going to make you feel better while you are here. So for that, they want to feel empowered that they've got some control of their own health. But to do exercise or physical activity or nutrition or things like that, they don't know where to go. Because a lot of places like gyms and stuff are a bit like, oh, if you've got cancer or whatever, they'll not hear you. And then like going to Slimming World and that, obviously they've got different needs because it might be some of the medication that's causing the weight. So I'm trying to work with the NHS to try and come up with a programme when people are coming out when they've rang the bell at the end of the treatment, where we can help them rebuild their lives, get back on their feet.
Yeah, needs like an aftercare package, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I always thought with things like that, you need to be given like a mentor or somebody's name to be passed on to, so at least you can just pick up the phone, give them a call when you need it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you'd be sitting at home going, oh, I don't know what to do now. I don't know how to handle this. And there's nobody around who is, it's not familiar to anybody in your own house. You mentioned time, Kim. I just want to kind of maybe finish on time. Because that's probably the thing that everybody's valuing the most is time. And it sounds like people with stage 4 as well, the value of that cherished time. So they want to squeeze as much into that as possible. Is that, what's the common ground with people who have cancer or post-cancer? Is there a common ground as well?
A lot of it obviously is tomorrow's never promised. It's never promised to any of us. I think, to be honest, before I went through this process, I don't know if you're the same, but I thought I was invincible. I'm going to live forever. Like, nothing's like, I'll not have cancer. and I'll not have this. But unfortunately, one and two of us will get it at one stage in our lives. But there is obviously other illnesses out there. And I'm not saying like live your life where you're worried about contracting cancer or another illness. But just be mindful of the fact when you, I don't know, when you pick up the phone and you say, oh yeah, I'll do them extra couple of hours at work. Do you really need to? Or could you spend them extra couple of hours with your kids? 'Cause my kids now, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm parent of the year, I'm not. I make mistakes. But they are everything to me. Everything. And for them, they're going to remember me when I'm no longer here. And again, that's why I'm doing the group as well, because, not for me, because they'll say to me like, oh, thanks, you're doing all this. And I'm like, honestly, you really don't understand how yous are giving me purpose and giving me drive to go on and on and on. And I really think it's important that we do not sweat the small stuff. And I know it's easier said than done. Just even if it's 5-10 minutes of your day, just take that time out to give your loved ones a cuddle. Like, we're all so much in a hurry. Yeah, I think we should just, in an ideal world, none of us would have to go to work and it would all be like all nice and fluffy, but I know the world's not like that. But yeah, I've got time in your day.